So it isn't unusual at all that we sometimes get data files from clients or from other coworkers that have blank spaces in them that need to be filled. There's ways to fill those blank spaces very quickly, and we're going to take a look at a couple ways to do that in this video. Remember, if you like the video, click on the subscribe button below, and let's get into it. So, like I mentioned, occasionally we're going to get data files from a client, and there's going to be blank spaces in those data files. There's going to be blank cells, things people didn't fill in. In this particular case, we've got some data, and what we see is that the years aren't fully filled in. They filled in the year in the first cell, and then for the next 3 quarters, they didn't put in the year number. Then they put in the year, didn't put in the year number for the next 3 quarters. So, and they did that routinely all the way down the page. So what we need to do is get those filled in, because we can't analyze those years and quarters if we don't have the years there. So there's a lot of ways we could do it. We could simply just type it in. We could go 2011, 2011, and just type this in. The problem is, if we had 500 rows of this would be really tedious, right? That's not what we really want to do. We can make it a little more efficient by taking this right-click and copy, highlight the cells, right-click and paste. Right-click and copy, highlight the cells, right-click and paste. We could do it that way. That's almost equally as inefficient. Another way we could do this is we could click on 2011 on the little handle in the lower right-hand corner, and we can drag, click on the handle, drag, click on the year, click on the handle, drag. That's also very inefficient. What would be nice is if we could do this with just a few keystrokes and fill in all these blank spaces. And in fact, there's a really easy way to do that. So what we're going to do is we're first going to create a formula that says we're going to take whatever is in the cell above it and put it in this cell. So that we simply said equals F2. And now that's there. Now we're going to copy that formula. So we're going to copy that formula. And now what we're going to do is highlight the entire range of cells all the way to the bottom. So we'll hit Control-Shift, down arrow, and we'll keep doing it till we get to the bottom. Notice every time you do this, it stops when you get to the end of the data that it sees. So it's going to go down all the way to 2024 and stop. Now we actually going to have to add 4 cells down here. The last 3 cells. We're going to have to highlight those last 3 cells. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit the F5 key, and when we do that, it's going to open up a dialog box for us. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. So this dialog box is here, and what we want to click on is where it says Special, and we're going to click on Blanks. And what it's going to do is it's going to highlight, if you watch that column F, it's going to highlight every cell that has a blank cell in it. And when I hit OK, only the blank cells are going to be highlighted. Now what's nice about this, I can now go all the way to the top and I can see all my highlighted cells. And all I have to do is go, say, paste up here. And it's going to paste whatever I copied. Remember I copied that formula? It's going to paste that formula into all those blank cells only. It's not going to paste it into the cells that have numbers already. So I hit paste, and you'll notice I've now got 2011 in those 4 cells, 2012 in those 4 cells, so I've filled those. Now there's still a slight problem, and that is that when I click on these, you'll notice that F3, that cell, cell F3 is a formula. If I go down, it's another formula. Go down, it's another formula. There's a number, now it's a formula, number, formula. We want to get rid of all those formulas, right? So how are we going to do that? Well, we do something we did in an earlier video where we learned how to convert formulas to cells. We're going to click on 2011, Control-Shift down all the way to the bottom. Now we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to highlight, we move that cursor till it turns into a 4-way arrow. We're going to right-click and hold that right mouse button down as we drag it to the right. And we're going to drag it right back to the left, keeping it fully aligned. Let it up. It's going to ask us, what do we want to do? We want to copy here as values only. When I do that, all those formulas are going to disappear. Now, when I look at that, if I look at cell F2, it's a number. F3 is a number. 4. Now I go to 2012, number. So I've got all those. I've converted all of those formulas for the years into values, and now I've got my data set ready to analyze. So hopefully that was helpful, showing you how to fill in blank cells in an Excel file.